Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you would be in a fine mood and good health. Dear students, schools are now open for physical mode of teaching right from March 1st, 2021. Now it's a good move to attend schools regularly so that you can be facilitated physically and there would be live interaction. Physically, you can find a teacher in front of you to learn things well. Digital platform is a new experience for you, isn't a substitute for the actual mode of teaching. Dear students, one worst thing is here that is the COVID 19. It is second wave is putting bad impact in India. Yesterday, as many as 40,000 people were declared as COVID positive patients in entire India, and state of Maharashtra is now fully under lockdown because the cases there are we increasing day by day, and J&K is never an exception. Here, Srinagar city also shows increase in COVID-19 patients. Better is to follow all SOPs in letter and spirit so that you can save yourselves from this deadly virus. Dear students of class 12th, subject political science, today we are dealing with one more important topic from your political science, that is US hegemony as hard power. Dear students, let me repeat the things. US hegemony in the world actually commenced in 1991, or verily started in 1991, when they only challenged that the Americans had in the form of former USSR that collapsed in 1991, and the Cold War ended. After the end of Second World War, there was a race of supremacy between two giant states, that was former USSR and the United States of America. In that very race, finally USSR could not sustain and it collapsed in 1991, and the bipolar world changed into unipolar world, and the American hegemony started in the world because it remained only the superpower in the world. Its power enhanced and remained intact. Dear students, the hegemony is simply the dominance or the leadership of one country over other countries. But what is the hard power? Hard power simply means military strength or the economic strength of a country. Dear students, US as hard power is no doubt a hegemon in the world. It is defense, it is military, can reach any point on the earth, and it has more capability and comparatively a good capability than the other countries in the world. You might have seen that some military actions were taken previously in the world, like in Iraq, in Syria, Afghanistan, and these operations, whether it was Operation Enduring Freedom, or it was Infinite Reach, or it was Operation Sail, all were carried by the Americans. No doubt the mandate was given to the Americans by the United Nations organization, but primarily these operations were carried on by the American force. So the military strength of the America is very high. It is defense, it is military can reach to any point on the earth. It is military capability is more than any other country in the world. So we can say America is a hegemon as hard power. And second thing is that it is economic worth is very high. It is the most developed country in the world. It aids rest of the countries economically. You might have watched where terrorism activities are going in the world. America aids that very country, or it even gives financial support to the countries which are developing or which are underdeveloped. So we can say the America or the United States of America is a hegemon as the hard power. Simply, you have to keep in the mind, since it is a new topic for you, hegemony means dominance of one country over another country, or it is the leadership of one country over another country, and sometimes it is the leadership. It is the leadership of one social group on other social groups. Let me repeat the things for you. Dear students, hegemony means dominance of one country over another countries or one social group or another countries, or we can say it is the leadership. In 1991, the world saw an earthquake-like situation when the USSR, the former USSR, collapsed and it disintegrated into 15 new states. So it is economic, it is military, it is other powers collapsed. Right from 1945, when World War II culminated, there was a race of supremacy in the world, and this race of supremacy was between the two ideologies, that was the capitalism being promoted by the Americans and the communism that was being promoted by the former USSR. But all of a sudden in 1991, USSR collapsed and disintegrated into 15 new states, and America remained only the superpower in the world. It is power enhanced and remained intact, while that of the USSR collapsed and the bipolar world changed into unipolar world. World order got changed, so the American hegemony in the world started in actual. Dear students, what is the hard power? Hard power is simply the military strength or the economic strength, or primarily it is the military strength. How now Americans are the hegemon as the hard power? Yes, they are. Their military strength is very high. It is more than any other country in the world, and it is military can reach at the farthest point on the earth at any point on the planet. And you might have watched or you might have seen or you might have heard about the operation Endure Freedom, Infinite Reach, or Operation Seal. These all operations were carried on by the Americans and they were the successful operations. So we can say the Americans as hard power hegemony is there. It is influencing world both militarily and economically. It is military strength, or it is military can reach any point on the earth. It is better than any other country in the world. And second important thing is that economically America is very strong. Economically it is economy or it is economy is day by day showing boost, and it aids to the weaker countries of the world or developing countries of the world. This shows that the America's hegemony of America is there in the form of military strength, in the form of the economy, because it financially aids the countries which are weak, or it takes the actions where some odd things are going, or where the sovereignty of a nation is in the danger, or one country attacks the sovereignty of another country, their America goes and takes the actions. It gets the mandate from United Nations Organization, or we can see in United Nations Organization the big C has the Americans. So dear students, this is about the American hegemony as hard power. Hope you might have grasped the concept. In case of any confusion or query that may strike your mind after watching this video, you can call me on 7006671106 or WhatsApp me on the same number. And when you forward your query by any means, by calling, by WhatsApping, within short duration of time, your query or confusion shall be cleared. Dear students, but important thing is that you have to see these things on the available political science reference book so that you can grasp the concept well. Dear students, hard work and self-study is mantra in your own hands to learn things well. And it is proven fact. It's a proven fact that hard work and the self-study can take one's boat to the bank. And you might have heard many successful people saying that only hard work and self-study can take one to the bank. Better is to do hard work, make self study so that you can get everything which you have in your mind as a desire. Thanks. Be balanced.